So I wasn't expecting to make another video today, but there's been some breaking news from Push Square that really impacts the Vita and the potential for more games coming in future. This comes from an article on Push Square, so let me read out what the article says. Sony has communicated to developers that it plans to launch a new PlayStation Store on the web and mobile later this month, which will remove the ability for you to purchase content for legacy consoles such as the PlayStation 3, PS Vita and PSP. Okay, that's bad news. Let me just continue what it says here towards the end of the article. While you'll no longer be able to purchase PS3 and PS Vita content from the PS Store on the web and mobile, the platform holder is not shutting the storefronts down. You'll still be able to buy content for both consoles using their native PlayStation stores. Now, that's fine. Well, no, it's not fine. So we're not going to be able to buy games for the Vita anymore on the web store or on the mobile store. That is pretty much how I buy games for the Vita. As most fans will know, as you guys know recently as well, the Vita store is not doing well. There's a lot of problems with it. New games are not shown up on the new game section. Some games don't even appear on the Vita native store. You have to buy them on the web store and use the download list to download them. What other issues are there? Search doesn't always work. There was a time when search wasn't working at all a few weeks ago. This was fixed, but it's still not always the best. It tends to come up with a lot more results than it needs sometimes, which makes it harder to find what you want. The download list is a mess, so sometimes if I want to download a game I've already bought, I'd go to PlayStation on the web store, and then I can press download to my Vita, and it'll come to my Vita. This won't be possible anymore because there's no web store for us to use. So we're restricted to using the Vita store, which is, like I said, it's not great. There are problems with it. The problem, what this is going to lead to is that when it comes to new games, so where we've got publishers like Top Hat Games or Sometimes You, who actually still support the Vita, who still bring games to the Vita, if their games are not going to be visible on the store, if you can't use that new games section to find new games, their games are not going to sell. And if they're not going to sell, they're not going to make money from them, and they're not going to support the Vita anymore. This is just another step closer to Sony killing the Vita, which is just rubbish again. I get they want to change it, make some changes because the PS5, but, couldn't they have some kind of legacy store available for the PS3, for the PS Vita? I mean, I guess there's probably not enough people buying and downloading games to justify it, but just feels rubbish. It's just another example of this really kind of slow death of the Vita, where they're kind of just like hammering these nails in the coffin one at a time, slowly taking away functionality, slowly sort of discontinuing various services or discontinuing physical game production. All these things just kind of taking us closer and closer to the end, where it's just such a slow and painful process. Sony has already taken away functionality for Vita exclusive games to go on sale. So this broke a few months ago, where developers need to go onto Sony's online portal in order to put their games on sale and to implement a sale on their games. And Vita games are no longer an option. They could put cross-buy games on sale, but not Vita games. So something like the Yumuetsu games, probably said that wrong. I'm sure I said that wrong. The ones that came out, one of them was £65 on the PlayStation Store. That's never going to go on sale. That's a Vita exclusive game. It's always going to be £65. And that's just crazy. It's like those sales are what really sort of helped games and really kind of brought games, made people buy those games. And so that's not happening anymore. And now you can't buy on the web store. It just limits how many games are going to be sold completely, which is really a shame. And, it means also that the PlayStation 1 games are not going to be available anymore. They're just available on the Vita store or on your PS3 store. So even PS1 games are kind of just going to be so, restricted. You can't buy them then anymore, apart from those two places. And, more and more that's going to be harder and harder as devices get older and stop working. At this point in the Vita's life, I can't recommend enough just hacking your Vita. I don't agree with piracy of games that are available to buy, but they're just making it harder and harder to give them money. And so I don't know, I think just hack your Vita. There's amazing functionality with a hack Vita. I don't see any problem with doing that. Especially since we're not going to get any more PS1 games, any more PSP games on the store. and you know, Sony are now just going to basically kill more and more functionality of the Vita. It's just rubbish, just rubbish. Yeah, and you know, luckily, guys, so I have 4 64 gig memory cards for the Vita. So recently, I backed up a lot of the digital games I own onto a new 64 gig card. I took out the 64 gig card, put loads of games that I know I really love and want to play. I downloaded the patches for the games. I, you know, made sure any of the DLC I needed is there. So I got kind of that one 64 gig card just sort of full up with loads of games, which I'm kind of glad I've done now. And you can also back up your games to a PC if you want to do that. So there are options if you want to back up your games if the Vita Store eventually doesn't work. Because, well, eventually they will stop us being able to use it. And it just seems like we're getting closer and closer to that. This change now is going to mean less games are sold for the Vita, and then Sony would take that as a reason to say, well, there's no point supporting the Vita Store at all because there are no games selling. But this is going to be one of the reasons why that's happening. It's like, what can you do? It's just, they just are actively trying to kill this device, which, you know, like me and probably like a lot of you guys still love it and still want to play it, but Sony doesn't really want us to play anymore, it seems. It makes me hesitant to buy the PS5 just seeing the way they're treating the Vita. I've still got my pre-order, but it just leaves a bad taste in the mouth, you know, the way these guys operate. Anyway, guys, I want to hear your views on this. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? How long do you guys think the Vita Store will be running for? And what games are you going to buy before the store runs out? You know, there's a few games that I really want to get, or that are on the digital store that I've been umming and ahhing over, mainly because of price. I know they're not going to go down in price now, so I might just bite the bullet and buy them. Hey, maybe I'll do a video tomorrow. Top 5 games that I want to get on PSN before they disappear. Guys, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this? What games are you still going to grab while you can? And as always, thank you for watching.